Hey everybody, my name is Camille. I am also known as Mindset Doc over on Instagram, and here I will be talking to you a little bit about how I became where I am right now, which is a newly accepted medical student, an osteopathic medical student. So, first, I guess it makes most sense if we go all the way back to before I started university. I was living in France and I came back, graduated with my class in America because I am American, and I decided that I wanted to get involved with the community. I was lucky enough to become a NIH Youth Scholar, and I went over to San Diego at the time. They were hosting their annual HIV and AIDS conference. There, I learned so much about public health, and at the end, the director challenged us all to come back into our communities and help those using the information that we learned during that really eye-opening experience in San Diego. So after coming back from the conference, I started out as a undergrad at my university. I knew I wanted to study public health right off the bat, so I decided to start taking electives and coursework that would put me on my path to, I guess, lead me to where I am today. So I became a health educator on campus through one of my electives, and I taught people about sexual health and drugs. We talked about, safer sex practices, as well as assessing your risk, and just knowing about yourself and the choices that you have and you can make. So after that, I, continued that over the years, and that first summer after my first year, I became an HIV counselor and tester for my state. And I first became a counselor on campus. I was helping undergrads as well as grads who would come in to get tested. We would talk about so many different things, whether it was their anxiety, whether it was their fears, if they've experienced homophobia, some of their risks. And it really was the first time I was able to talk to someone one-on-one in a more vulnerable setting. And when I saw that all these people would feel comfortable enough to share with me all the complexities of life, I really cherished that, and I wanted to continue that, but not in the sense of being a counselor or a social worker. I knew I wanted to do health education, but in a different way. So I became an intern at a local hospital, and I specifically was tasked with LGBTQ health education. I teamed up with some of the medical students there, and we created an online educational video, animated video, for transitioning pediatric patients of an endocrinologist. So the endocrinologist allowed me and some other students to go in and speak to pediatric patients along with their guardian to assess the video that we created, because we envisioned that video being in the offices of pediatricians, and just normalizing the whole conversation about hormonal affirmation treatment, as well as transitioning children who make that decision. So after that time that we allowed the people to watch the videos and give us feedback, and we turned this into a social science research project. And what was birthed from that and what resulted in that was more of an awareness for me that you can't just physically give hormones to a kid. There's so many more intricacies, and I say this in terms of looking at a patient holistically. There's things that happen mentally, physically, psychologically, and even socially. Speaking to guardians, speaking to your peers, trying to discuss what these children had to discuss. And once I considered that and just looking at a patient as a whole, I knew that becoming a physician is something that I wanted to do, not only because there was an aspect of teaching and health education, but there was a frontline opportunity to be able to establish patient-physician care. And I attended a osteopathic shadowing students day at one of the osteopathic schools, and I just knew that's what I wanted to do. It was the perfect combination of my parents' professions, and it was as if they gave birth to a baby, which is me, literally, but also figuratively with the path that I'm choosing with going into osteopathic medicine. So I am so unbelievably happy and grateful that you did take the time to listen to this. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, but I'm now finally sitting down and doing it. And I have so many more topics to talk about, whether it's getting into medical school. I hope to document my journey while being in medical school, and I'm just happy to take you along the journey with me. I find it important to document things that have happened in my life, and I hope that you can resonate with that by listening to my recordings, because I really hope that it can help other people, because there's going to be some questions that I'm answering, as well as researching and exploring that will hopefully touch on those points. And I hope to see you again in my next episode. All right, it's Camille signing off. If you would like to reach out to me or find me, I'm at Mindset Doc on Instagram. All right, have a great day.